This customer ordered a 2-tiered Sonic themed cake for her son's 4th birthday. Here's one of the inspo pictures that she sent me, but she didn't want the colors to be so dark. She wanted them a little bit more muted. So once I get those colors down for the base of each tier, I go ahead and stack the cake. I made so many little strips of fondant in 2 different shades of green. I placed the first strip over the edge of the bottom tier, and I used some buttercream as sort of like my glue to attach those fondant strips, so I figured it would be much easier to add all of the buttercream first. Now I continue placing the rest of those strips. I made some in a darker shade of green and some in a lighter one. I placed them in a pattern, one light and one dark, all the way around. Side note, I did pre-place all of those brown squares to the bottom tier because it took about an hour to add them all. Next, I rolled out some white fondant and used an X-Acto knife to freehand this number 4. I brushed on some edible gold luster dust and I added this to the front of the top tier. I made all of the Sonic rings the day before so that way they can harden a little bit and make it easier for me to add to the cake. I placed them standing up over those green strips. I did make more of them, but I'll be adding those towards the end. Next, I cut out some white clouds and I add those all around the top tier. And then I made this much larger Sonic ring. This was one of the ones that I pre-made the day before so that it can harden. I turned this into a topper by using a cake pop stick and some chocolate melts. Then I painted the back gold as well, and then I placed it right on top. She wanted me to go with the toy character figures, so this is the set that I purchased, and I added Sonic right on top in front of that larger ring. Then I add Tails and Knuckles to the bottom. And now I grab the rest of those rings that I made and add them to the cake. I added 2 on top, one right next to Sonic on each side, and I placed the rest of them onto the bottom tier all the way around on that checkerboard pattern. And now this Sonic cake is all done. Here's what it looks like. The customer messaged me soon after pickup to tell me she loved it. I hope you guys like this one too.